Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Arcoro's 9-minute training at 9 a.m. My name is Sam. We have Bernie with us today. He has been with Arcoro for over 8 years, starting implementation and the last 5 in integration, which is what we'll be covering today. We will not be able to answer any questions live, but feel free to leave them in the chat and we'll follow up with you after the presentation. Bernie, I will give it over to you.
Thank you so much, Samantha. As Samantha said, we're going to be talking about integrations today. And integrations, a lot of times, gets really into the weeds about nerdy things, I would say. And my wife will tell you that I speak bilingual. I can speak nerd and I can speak human. So this presentation will try to be as human as possible and not into the nerdy vocabulary too much. So what we'll cover in this 9-minute session is what is an integration, why is it important to you, talking about the process, how we as Arcoro differentiate some of the benefits, and then we'll end up walking through the integrations UI, focusing on connectors, the sync and sync history, which is really important to you. So to get started here, let's level set with what an integration is. By definition, it's basically when applied software applications connect so they can share information. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Slide. Here we are. So it's basically just enabling you to share data, move data, which is going to help you reduce keying errors and save or pivot your time into other areas of your work. So rethinking or thinking about integrations, how do they work? There's basically a 4-step process. The first step is discovery. Next, you hand off your discovery to the development team, get into an approval or beta environment where we're testing everything. And once everybody says, yeah, this looks really good, we then can release the integration for general consumption. So going back to that first piece of discovery and mapping, that is where the rubber meets the road really here. What you have to understand with integrations is, yes, my piece of software has, let's just say, a termination date. And the other partner software also has a termination date. But how each of those pieces of software individually process the termination date could be different, right? So in the Core HR module for Arcoro, there are different workflows that can be kicked off when a termination date is set. If we pass it over to a vendor or partner software, how do they handle that? Are they also having internal processes, like say for payroll? Does it shut down the person's payroll and turn off all the benefits and all the other things as part of their workflow? Does it not do any of those things? How does that work? That's all part of that discovery and mapping, where we really have to understand what the partner can and can't do with the data. Once we have all that figured out, that's when we can finally turn over to our development team to have them put their heads down and put the rules together for the process. So integrations as a differentiator here at Arcoro. Now this first one here, 01, says threading by provider. That's kind of nerdy. So let me try to explain that with an analogy, if you will, metaphor. Let's just say you're in traffic. You're in the 10th car in traffic and you're pulling up in a single lane up to a 4-way stop sign. Only one car can go through at a time. That would be considered single threading. So only one piece of data can go through. Now let's think about you're still the 10th car in traffic, but we have 6 lanes of traffic at a stoplight. When the light turns green, one row can go through at a time. Next row, next row, next row. So 6 pieces are moving at the same time. That's multi-threading. So now think about that from the standpoint of you have 100 items in a queue. How long is it going to take for a single line of cars to go through that stop sign versus 6 lanes of traffic, 6 items going at one time for 100 items. So depending upon what the provider will allow us to do, will determine the speed at which we can send data. Now to help with that, the second bullet here is changes or new employees. When we write data to providers, it's going to be just changes that happened in Core HR, and we do a compare to what's in the other system to say what's changed between the two, or deltas, if you will. And anything that's been changed, we're going to send over to be updated in that other system, the partner system. We'll also send new hires, new employees, because obviously they're not in that other system. So only changes or updates and new employees will go. That reduces the number of, basically reduces the traffic, if you will, right? Next up is workflow, precedence on how data is written. Some vendors want you to send employees first and then send payroll. Some want you to send payroll data first, then employees. So it's all dependent upon what that other system needs. We build around that. The last slide in the deck here, before we get into going through the actual UI, is talking about what are some of the benefits here. By having this integrations framework, we do have a single UI across all the different integration providers we're going to connect with. It's a simplistic UI. So it's a user experience that is very easy to navigate and work with. That's going to help Arcoro accelerate the implementations of integrations. It's going to simplify the Arcoro technical support. It's one point of contact, one place to go. It's consistent across each and every integration. And my favorite part is the actionable warnings and errors. So as data flows back and forth, you will know what data points may have had a problem in passing, or we couldn't pass because it didn't match up. So let's get into a quick demo, slide deck demo anyways, of what the pages look like. The first area is our connectors area. When you get into the integrations UI, you'll see you have, there's my pointer, thank you. You have navigation on the left here. What you will see is connectors, sync, and sync history. I'm logged in as a admin of the integrations platform, so I also have this companies and add user. Because I'm an admin, you also see that I have a lot of different connectors here. And that's because, again, I'm an admin. You, as a client, if that's who's watching this, will only see the data that's pertinent to you. So only things that you care about are going to be in here. It's going to be reduced to just your information. So what you would do to set everything up is create a new connector. And that would be this screen, a connector. Sounds kind of confusing. Really all it is think about how do you connect to another platform, or you want to call your grandma on your phone. You have to know the phone number to call in order for the phone to make that connection. This same thing over here. We're saying, how do we connect to the Core HR module? So what company are you in? What products is for Core HR? You have to have a Core HR connector, and you have to have the other side connector. Because just because I want to call grandma, she still has to have a phone too. So both sides have to be defined here. The other side of the connector would be, I'm going to connect into, for this example, Sage. And with Sage, I have to know what is the URL, what's the username and password. I can click save, and then I can also test the connection to make sure everything works as we intended it to work. Getting into syncs, this is a sync page. Very simple actions. You hit play, go ahead and run the sync job, whether it be importing data from, in our example, Sage to Core HR, or the other way around, Core back to Sage. You can edit the connector, view the history, and delete it. When I click on add a new sync, when I click on run a sync job, it's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? And it's going to tell me I'm going to write data from Sage, from Core back to Sage. And I have to click on confirm, then hit run. Sync history is the last area here. It's just basically going through how long did the job take, what steps, how many people were added, updated, changed, etc. You can dive into it by clicking on the icon, and it'll bring you into the information that talks about what has been changed. Down here, I show that we had 46 warnings, and it tells me what those warnings were. For example, John needs a hire date, and down here, this should use federal value was true, and we do not support that. If you would like to, you can also click on any one of these downloadable files, and it's a JSON, so it's just basically the same information you just saw, but in a format that you can look at on your computer screen instead of on the internet. That is it for the presentation. Sam, did you have anything you wanted to closing remarks?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. That is extremely helpful and really interesting. I also got a comment that people love your metaphors. We
Good.
appreciate everyone's attendance today, and we'll send out a follow-up survey. If you type the questions to the chat, We'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible, and we look forward to seeing you on the next 9 at 9. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.